It's Conduit News Radio with Paul Harrell.
To Mr. Bill Peacock. He is with the Texas Public Policy Foundation, and he joins us now here on Conduit News Radio. Bill, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me on, Paul.
Yes, sir. I really appreciate you being able to spend some time with us. I noticed that you were, you're a contributor of over at thehill.com, and I saw this article here, headline Markets, Not Renewable Energy Magic, or Not Renewable Energy Magic, ensure the affordable supply of electricity. What were you trying to get at with this piece?
Well, one of the things we like to do here at the Texas Public Policy Foundation is make fun of California. They just continue to do things out there that show those of us in the rest of the country, at least the middle of the country, how not to do things. And they've recently decided to go to 100% renewable energy by, I think it's the year 2045 or so. Well, they're heading that way. The Assembly's passed it. Now the Senate has to consider it. And it's just something that is impossible to do. It doesn't work. Even if they could make it work, it's more expensive. And so it's really just a bunch of magic, and we wanted to kind of point that out to everybody.
That's interesting. So by 2045, I mean, is that even possible? I mean, and aren't we really talking about, even if it were possible, there's no way you can do it without the government getting involved here in a massive way, right?
Well, exactly. That's one of the big issues here is it's just not doable on any kind of large scale at all. But even on smaller scales where people are pushing that way, Texas is about, depending on how you look at it, somewhere in the neighborhood of 18% renewable at certain times. Now, it's really expensive. It relies completely on subsidies. There's federal subsidies, there's state subsidies, and there's local subsidies, and all that money is coming from taxpayers and or consumers.
Okay, so here I'm reading some of this wind energy. Okay, we've heard about wind energy. We've heard about solar energy for a long time. What about the free market? We're talking with Bill Peacock, the Texas Public Policy Foundation. What about the free market, Bill? I mean, isn't that better, especially when it comes to people being able to afford the energy that heats and cools their homes?
Well, that's the argument that folks supporting renewable energy or any kind of government intervention fight against, right? They say, well, markets are great. I'm all for free markets, but markets don't work here. And sometimes that's insurance, and a lot of times it's energy. And they say you just can't rely on markets. So the government, who knows better than the rest of us we have to get in there and we have to figure it out. We have to mandate this and subsidize this and tweak this and push that, and then we can all get it figured out. But it doesn't work. But markets do, and markets have provided lower cost energy and for a long time now. And unfortunately, we're moving away from that.
Yeah, it's the dirty coal. It's the cold, and it's I don't know, hurting the environment, and I guess, I mean, that's what the left says, right? I mean, that's why they want to pour other people's money into technology that's not even ready yet. I mean, I remember Solyndra. I mean, we talk about markets. The only market with Solyndra was you had a bundler from the Obama administration or from the Obama campaign at the top of that company that got the $500 million. And then, they ended up throwing the solar panels, I believe, away after they went bankrupt into a dumpster because it was more economical to throw them away than to continue to store solar panels that nobody wanted in a warehouse.
Well, that's exactly the case. They just keep pushing this in the name of some environmental benefits or cost benefits, but the exact opposite is the case. And as a matter of fact, y'all have that right there in Arkansas. Fayetteville has recently decided that they're going to go 100% renewable. And they said their ultimate goal is to stop global warming, but there's all these other benefits. And one of them, they say, is we're going to reduce transportation and housing costs. But the actual reality of it is it's going to cost a lot more, because when you put all these practices in place, it just costs people more.
Yeah, there's Wow. Yeah, a lot of people, Fayetteville is, as far as the city goes, this happens in a lot of places where, you have the city that's much more liberal, progressive, if you will, than maybe the rest of the state. But that's certainly not a badge of honor that I'd like to, see displayed nationally in the headlines. We're going renewable. It's like, oh,
Right.
really? They're going down this
Well,
path.
Yeah, well, they recently, the city joined up with the University of Arkansas to support what was known as the Wind Catcher project, which was going to be the largest wind farm in the United States. It's over in Oklahoma, but it was going to affect Louisiana and Arkansas and Oklahoma and Texas. And the Texas Public Utility Commission got a look at it and said, there's no way this is going to be helpful to Texas ratepayers. And they said, we're not going to allow it with these numbers. And because of that, the whole project got canceled. So maybe y'all owe us a little debt of gratitude up there in Arkansas.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm reading your piece here at The Hill. We're talking with Bill Peacock, Texas Public Policy Foundation. Almost 135 years later, after having moved from windmills to wind turbines and after blowing through billions of dollars of investment in generation, transmission, and storage, i.e. batteries, we are still in the same position. I mean, so is there ever a point where they move on to different ideas, Bill? Or are we still fighting this battle? And on that, what's the current administration looking like compared to past administrations when it comes to this issue?
Well, the Trump administration has done a really good job. They have started rolling back all types of regulations on emissions and other things that didn't help clean the air or anything. It just or help reduce the climate. They rolled back the Obama administration's Clean Power Plan, and so all that is going to produce more electricity, allow the market to produce more electricity at lower cost. There are some talks up there about still needing to help out coal, which is the other side of the problem. And we don't support any subsidies, whether it's coal or nuclear or wind. So we're working through those kind of issues.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, if you really take it from the free market approach, the bottom line is it comes down to efficiency, and it comes down to what's gonna heat your home or power your lifestyle for the lowest cost, and we should be willing to allow the markets to work. I mean, there may be a time where wind technology or battery technology gets to the point where you leave something out in the sun for 5 minutes and you can run your car for a year, but we're nowhere close to that right now.
No, I don't think we're going to be really anytime soon. Wind and solar and biomass, also called wood, are some of the oldest energy technologies in the world. We've been using them for centuries, millennia, and they got quickly surpassed by coal and natural gas and oil because they're just a more efficient technology. Yeah,
I mean, and I see this last part here. The only magic we need to achieve a secure power grid, a secure grid that provides an affordable and reliable supply of electricity, is to make some regulations, mandates, and subsidies go poof, so that generators, grid operators, and consumers can use the market to meet our energy needs. It's really good stuff, and I'm always thrilled to have people who want to talk about the free market on the program anytime, Bill. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. You have a good morning, folks. It's Bill Peacock. He is the Vice President of Research at the Texas Public Policy Foundation, and he had an article that's up here at thehill.com. Markets, not renewable energy magic, ensure the affordable supply of electricity. We're going to take a break.